What, Penguin?
Come in, Daddy.
Hey, sweetheart.
Give me 5. On the side. Cut the pickle.
You owe me a nickel. Come here.
You had a bad day, didn't you?
How can you tell?
You always shake just a little.
I'm sorry, Penguin. But it's a shitstorm out there. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
And you know you gotta develop claws to fight it?
Sharp ones, Daddy.
Atta girl.
Daddy, you owe me.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
I don't think so.
Please. Doesn't have to be a long one. Just good.
Just good? You ready? Once upon a time, about a year and a half ago, Daddy had just cleared the Haverhill Jenkins homicide case, you remember? Well, right after, I got assigned to a robbery deployment, a loan out to the West LA squadron because there'd been a series of nighttime burglaries of doctors' offices and large buildings in the Westwood area. Cash and saleable drugs where the burglars meet. Now, this guy had ripped off about $5 grand in cash and a shitload of pharmaceutical speed and heavyweight downers in less than a month. The West LA Dicks had his MO figured this way. This bastard used to hide out in the building all day long until nightfall. He'd hit his mark, and then he'd run into a second-story office and jump out the window into the parking lot, if you can believe that. But there was evidence to point to this. Chipped cement on window ledges. Now, the Dicks had figured this guy for like a gymnast, some bullshit cat burglar type who could jump 2 stories without getting hurt. They were so sure of it that the commander of the squad was setting up parking lot surveillances. Well, when this guy hit a doctor's office right on Wilshire Boulevard that 2, not 1, 2 teams of detectives were staking out, that blew this commander's thesis all to hell, and ta-da, Daddy was called in to save the day.
Tell me how you got this scumbag, Daddy.
Sweetheart, nobody jumps 2 stories repeatedly without getting hurt. So I formed my own thesis. This guy was just brazenly walking out of the building.
Okay, that's enough. No more stories. Now kiss your daddy goodnight and get to sleep.
What? Your mommy's right. It's late. I'll finish it tomorrow, okay?
It's okay. I know how it ends. This is the one that ends with the queen who did full drag D&E, isn't it?
You little bugger. You knew all along and you let me tell this story. 3 to 5, no parole. I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too, Daddy. Thanks.
Good night. Snuggle in. Snuggle. She's really something, that little penguin.
Do you have any idea what you're doing to that child?
Here we go again. Daddy's gonna catch hell.
Daddy? You call spilling out all that filth and violence being a father? Do you, Lloyd?
Dan, what do you want me to do, huh? Huh? Want me to tell her about the 3 bears? Is that it?
She's just a little girl. An 8-year-old little girl. Can't you get that through your head?
Hey, let me tell you something you should get through your head. They're all little girls, Jan. Every one of them. Every one of those pathetic souls who eventually does herself in is a little girl. Every neurotic who lies on a couch and pays some asshole to make good money to listen to her bullshit is a little girl. Every hooker out hustling her ass for a pimp who winds up with a dyke, a habit, or wasted by some psychopath is a little girl. And all these little girls have one thing in common. You know what that is? Disillusionment. And it always comes from the same thing. Expectations. The greatest woman killer of all time. A terminal disease that starts way back when they're all just little girls, when they're being fed all the bullshit about being entitled to happiness like it's a birthright. That's what you don't understand. When to stop perpetrating the myths that ruin their lives. Innocence kills, Jan. Believe me, it kills. I see it every fucking day of my life.
Lloyd, I think you're a very sick man.
Ah, Jesus.
In need of some real help.
Christ, is that the best you can come up with? Can't you see that she's got to know before it's too late?
Know what, Lloyd? What does she have to know?
What chance has she got? Mother still believes in white knights and happy endings.
I think I'm gonna go check on Penny. And then I think I'd like to sleep alone.
What else is new?